MuscleNotFat.com today to find out more. That's MuscleNotFat.com. Check it out today.
Now you can discover the mysteries of ham radio. Using modern transceivers, you can make friends all over the world. Even talk to astronauts in space, ships on the high seas, and flying aircraft thousands of miles away. Unlike phone users, ham radio operators talk absolutely free and provide vital communications during disasters or emergencies. To find out more about ham radio, visit us at arrl.org. And remember, unlike the internet, we crisscross the entire globe wirelessly.
Dontaes Boxing Nation Show here on alltalkradio.net. Now here's your host, Dontaes.
What's going on, guys? All Talk Radio, and welcome to the Dontaes Boxing Nation Show. I am your host, Dontaes, and joining me today is my special guest. This man right here is the president of the Boxing Hall of Fame, Las Vegas. He also works with Mike Tyson and Iron Mike Productions, Mr. Steve Lott. Welcome to the show, Steve Lott.
Thank you so much. You promised beer, wine, and sangria. Where is it? I mean, no respect, I tell you.
This is Las Vegas. We're going to have to get to that,
okay,
right?
Thank you.
So let me start off asking you this. Like I said, first of all, I want to thank you for coming to the show. I know you have a busy schedule, Steve. First thing I want to ask you is, how are things going at Iron Mike Productions right now?
It's terrific because it's great to start at a business when it's just beginning. And it's with Mike Tyson, and because I knew him for so long, it's just wonderful to work with someone you love. And his desire, the activity at the place, he loves being a promoter, he loves the fighters. You could see his eyes light up when he walks into the gym. And for him, he wants to discover the next batch of kids that can be exciting, the next Duran, the next Marvin Hagler, the next Chavez. That's the quest. It's very tough to do, but that's what he's trying to do now. But it's wonderful working there.
Absolutely. That's cool. So you just mentioned something. I'm talking about the promotional company. He wants it to obviously be successful and work. Now, there's only a handful of successful promoters. We all know the Bob Arams, the Golden Boys, and we've had so many promoters that have just come and gone overnight. Richard Steele, he stopped refereeing to try to have run his own promotional company. Roy Jones, they weren't really successful. What is the key to having a successful longevity promotional company like a Top Rank?
Well, you know, interestingly enough, with Top Rank, Bob Arum, the president, had an incredibly acute saying about being a promoter. About maybe 15 years ago, they asked him that same question, and he said, the desert around Las Vegas is full of the bones of guys who wanted to be promoters. Very tough business. It's very tough if you don't have good fighters. What makes a promoter outstanding or stands out is to have at least one kid who's really can fight. Then you're on the map. If you have more than one, it's even better because it gives you the chance to place them on TV regularly. But the key in boxing is getting a kid who can fight. And not only fight, but be exciting. You want people to say, if at all possible, wow, when can I see this kid fight again? If you got a fighter like that, that means a Duran, an Aaron Pryor, a Chavez, a Gomez, a Sanchez, fighters like that, and of course, a Mike Tyson once in a lifetime, then you're a promoter, or then you're a great manager, or then you're a great trainer. It's the way it works is those kids, if they're great, they make you great. It all comes down to being the fighter. Who can excite the audience? That's it.
Okay, so how are you guys recruiting these guys? Mike Tyson, you, or how are you guys recruiting them? Are you going to different gyms, or just how does that work out?
Getting a fighter is very tough. We get a lot of internet emails with links to YouTube. Hey, here's my kid. Take a look. You know, he's 16-0, or 15-0, or 10-0. The records usually don't mean much. You've got to see the kid fight. Some people send in videos of them training. They look great in training. but you got to see the kid either in terrific sparring or better yet in a professional fight. So we get the emails with links to YouTube, or we get letters or emails saying, hey, check my kid out. He's going to be on either ESPN or some other cable network. You got to see the kid fight. We're starting to get a lot of information by the internet. Going to the gyms is pretty tricky because there's so many of them, and you don't know which ones have the fighters. Most likely, if we start doing that, it'll be in these cities with a lot of downtown ghetto areas. That's where you're going to find the kids. You're not going to find them in upscale suburban gyms where they have health clubs, where the women dress up to work out and things like that. You got to find them in gyms where they want to kill to eat. Those are the kids you want to get early on. Whether they come from Mexico or Cuba or Puerto Rico or South Philly, you got to get them in those gyms. But even there, you want to find the best of the best. It's very difficult to find a terrific young kid.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, and before I go any further, if you guys have any questions, you guys can call in. We'll try to, squeeze it in. If you guys have any questions for Mr. Steve Lott, the number is 702-605-0498, or you can contact us through Skype. Just type in All Talk Radio. All right. So,
will we get any calls from Jennifer Lopez, you think?
Let's hope so.
Okay, I'll pay extra.
Let's hope so. So the next question is, now you are the president of the Las Vegas. You know what? Before I go further with that, let me ask this question: what fighters are you guys promoting? Because I know everyone wants to know what fighters do you guys have in your roster right now?
Yeah. Well, the top guys are really very entertaining. Claudio Marrero and Juan Carlos Payano. These kids are top ranked. They're very exciting. Marrero was in a sensational fight at Turning Stone last September, one of Mike's first cards. And one kid that Mike is very high on, and so am I, is Erickson Lubin. He's a Golden Glove champion, is 2-0 right now, terrific puncher. He only goes forward, and that's the type of kid you want. When you have a kid who, when someone is watching on TV, they don't want to turn their face from the TV. They tell their wife, please, in a few minutes, I'll get up and do that, but right now I want to watch. Then you got a kid. This kid could be like that. If you get half an Aaron Pryor or half a Roberto Duran, then you got a killer. That's what we want. That's what this kid could be,
Oh, cool. And also, you guys are obviously promoting, is it Argenis Mendez?
Argenis Mendez was in one of the most unusual fights of all time. In his last fight, it was a second round against this terrific challenger, Barthélemy, and Argenis was hit after the bell and knocked out. And there was a tremendous controversy. Obviously, what added to the controversy was the fact there was a Mike Tyson promotion, and Mike's involved. And fortunately, the boxing world, the commissions, and the IBF reviewed the fight, and they realized it was a punch after the bell, and he was knocked out after the bell. So they reversed the decision, which was originally a knockout win for the other fighter, for Barthélemy, and they made it a no contest, which means everything has to start from scratch. Mendez retains his title. Barthélemy will be the challenger. New purse bid. All of the mechanisms that went into the first fight now take place again, which is very rare in boxing. But it makes it very exciting because now it's a bit not only of a grudge match, but it's Mike Tyson involved in the grudge match, and the two camps involved in the grudge match, and a new purse bid, which now is going to be fought over between the other promoter and Mike Tyson. So a lot of stuff happening. The boxing fans will be watching this very closely to see who wins and who comes out on top. It'll be very interesting.
Yeah, and I have to say, I thought it was a good thing when it comes to the sport of boxing to review that and actually change it so quick. Instead, usually when it comes to boxing, it takes so long to do the right thing. And they got it right that time. I was really impressed how they reviewed it, and they overturned it really quick. And they pretty much did the right thing instead of it just lingering, taking forever.
Yeah. Well, the commission there in Minnesota was very sharp. It's not like having an organization with 50 different people that have to review everything. They had a meeting. They probably reviewed the tape. It's not like it was trying to build a rocket ship to the moon. You watch the tape. The punches landed after the bell. Maybe they were already being thought of by the other fighter, Bartholomew, that he's going to throw these punches. But there are rules and regulations. In baseball, you can't have 5 strikes. It's 3 and that's it. You can't ask for another one. Or in football, if you commit a foul, the referee's going to say there was a foul. Doesn't matter whether you intended for it to happen or it was accidental. It's a foul. And in this particular case, with the fight, it was unfortunate. I don't think he meant to throw the punches after the bell, but there are rules and regulations. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Let me just go ahead and throw this in since we're talking about rules and regulations and what's best for the sport. What is your opinion on Olympic-style drug testing, Steve? You think it should be mandatory, or what do you think about it?
Well, for the amateurs, I'm not familiar with the amateurs. I think there should be drug testing as a matter of course, only so that they know there are some rules and regulations. And I think that because these kids are not 20, 25, 30, I'm sure that their parents and their trainers and their schools and their organizations, they should know that these kids are straight. And I can see that being an important factor for the amateurs. Once they become pro, I'm in the opinion that if a pro wants to drink orange juice or eat Hershey bars or do anything before a fight, it won't help. When you get hit on the chin, the ball game is over. I don't think there's been a fight in the history of boxing where if you gave a fighter something before the fight, in any way, shape, or form, it would help in any way. Obviously, the younger guys, or I should say the smaller weight divisions, can't do too many steroids because you don't want to get too big, because then you go up into the next weight division. And if you go into the next weight division, you fight guys who are bigger punchers. So that's not going to happen. So what else is left? I don't do drugs, so I wouldn't know. Give some drugs to the kid before the fight. He gets hit on the chin, the ball game is over. For the heavyweights, steroids. I mean, the big guys today are so bad. They're really so poor. It's unfortunate that the big guys in boxing are not boxing. They're playing baseball, football, basketball. Yeah. And it's interesting. I know I'm getting off the track a little with the drugs, but not one kid from Oklahoma who's 15 or 16, 6'2", 6'3", not one kid from Nebraska, football kid, 14 years old, 6'4", 6'5", 230, not one of them goes into boxing. And I always thought about, why, and probably because when a kid is young, and his father says, you want to do sports? The kid says yes. And the father says, let's check out the football field in junior high school. And they go there. It's a beautiful field, the beautiful girls on the sidelines, beautiful uniforms. The father says, well, let's check out baseball, the baseball arena, the baseball field. Beautiful field, beautiful uniforms, nice bats. You're a big kid. Let's check out basketball. Go inside, nice arena, a couple of thousand seats, beautiful, clean. Son, if you become heavyweight champion of the world, you'd make more in 1 year than you would in your whole lifetime as a baseball, football, basketball player. Let's check out the gym. They drive 20 miles downtown to a dark, dirty gym, spit buckets, the kids with their bleeding, and the kid looks around and says, Dad, I don't think so, man. Okay, son, no problem. That's the advantage these third world areas have. Ghettos, maybe whether it's in the United States, in Philadelphia, or downtown California, or Mexico, or Cuba, or Puerto Rico. So it's just, so for drugs, I'd rather see a kid develop as a fighter with heart, with courage, be taught well, hands up, chin down. That's more important than any drug you can give them. So if, for the kids in the Olympics, I'm glad they're doing the drug testing, because they should have some type of barrier that they know mentally, physically, emotionally they can't cross. Not only the Olympics are watching, but their parents and trainers and other kids as well. It should be some type of role model. and that's important for the Olympics.
Absolutely. And just to respond to what you were saying about football, basketball, and how a lot of kids are kind of leaning towards that instead of boxing, yeah, I think it just has a lot to do with it's far more easier access, like you said, to play football, basketball, like you